So welcome back to Cozy Corner here at the Access to Music Get Experience Festival tent, where we've had various people. We've interviewed artists, people from the music industry, the music manufacturing industry sector as well. But we're here with Andy from the Royal National Institute for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing, and also that you work on the Don't Lose the Music campaign. So hello Andy, just tell us a little bit about the Don't Lose the Music campaign.
Yeah, the Don't Lose the Music campaign is all about telling music lovers about how and why they should be protecting their hearing. Obviously, music can be played very loud on MP3 players at gigs and clubs and stuff, and over time that can really damage your hearing. It can cause tinnitus, which is the ringing in your ears, or it can lead to hearing loss. And so the campaign is all about kind of educating people, making sure they're aware of the dangers, but most importantly about how to protect themselves as well. And there's some really easy things you can do to protect yourself. Things like just making sure you don't stand too close to speakers, wearing specially designed earplugs for music, just not turning up your MP3 player too loud to drown out background noise, and getting some noise cancelling headphones, and just that sort of thing. And so we're here today just making sure that kind of people are aware of the campaign, they're aware of the dangers and know what to do to protect themselves.
Raising awareness and education, I mean that's the main thing. I suppose from sort of older people, like myself maybe, well I'm not that old actually, but anyway, but it's not until it's gone, you know, that you realise that you've damaged your hearing, that it's all too late. I've got some hearing earplugs here actually. I mean myself, I suffer from noise-induced hearing loss. I worked for 15 years as a professional musician. Didn't even think about using earplugs or anything like that until I got into my 30s, and then realised, you know, there was a problem with my hearing, and that's it, it's gone, you know, so there's no going back. Do you find people are receptive to, because the effects are not straight away, do you feel, are people receptive to the campaign, or go, oh, don't worry about that, that's the sort of thing old people have to worry about?
Sometimes, but obviously yes, when people are experiencing hearing loss, suddenly they think, oh, actually, you know, I should have done something. But we found that there are a lot of people who have experienced some form of tinnitus, the kind of the ringing in your ears after a night out, or after they've been listening to their MP3 player or something. And we try to make the point to them that's a warning sign of potentially permanently damaging your hearing. And as soon as you tell them that, they suddenly realise that something clicks, and then they're willing to do something. So if we can kind of talk to people early enough. I mean, I've been out on a night out, and I've been near a speaker, I've been stuck there for the night, and I've come out and I've had tinnitus in one of my ears for 2 days, and that was really quite scary. And so now I never go out anywhere without some earplugs. I'm always making a conscious effort to kind of take breaks and stuff like that. And people are receptive of it when you explain to them kind of what's going on, because people do value their hearing.
At a young age, are they quite young?
Yeah, I mean we try.
It's a bit like you know, when people started wearing or trying to get people to wear cycle helmets. And it's like, oh, sod that, they look rubbish. I mean, they did look rubbish in those days as well. Whereas now, wearing a high-vis jacket or a cycle helmet, everybody, you know, you look around London, everybody, young and old, wears cycle helmets, just goes with the thing. Do you think that the culture is changing, that people are going, oh, I'm going to a gig, oh, where's my hearing protection, or where's my, you know, where are my earplugs? Do you think it is changing?
Yeah, I think it is, but very slowly at the moment. I think you're completely right with the whole kind of cycle analogy and kind of how long it took to get that going. We're finding people within the music industry and music students are very quickly picking up on this, and that's great. But now we kind of need to get it out to a wider audience as well, and kind of get that. It is a culture thing. It is trying to get people to realise actually it's not necessarily a bad thing to have to wear earplugs. You can still enjoy music with earplugs. But it is a very difficult process as well. Going back to your earlier point about like young people, we are trying to target young people because kind of so many young people are going out and they're listening to iPods, and they're doing like they just seem to love loud music, which is when they're going to cause the damage.
Yeah, I think it's changing the culture, but it'd be nice to think that, I suppose because it's entertainment and a social thing as well, that I mean, in any other industry, with regards to personal protective equipment, if you were, well, musicians, if you were as a worker on a building site, you wear a hard hat, you wear safety shoes. So hearing protection, just, you know, for a musician, should just be in your gig bag straight away. I suppose for the audience, where you're not exposed to it as much, but as you say, that, you know, if you are experiencing tinnitus, that is doing damage. I mean, I think isn't it anything over 80 decibels? I mean, it depends the exposure time, obviously, but anything over 80 decibels has the potential to damage your hearing over long periods of time.
Yeah, I mean, there's some regulations regarding noise at work where they say it's about 80 decibels, and that's kind of the level we talk about as well. But like you're completely right. It's the amount of exposure over time. So if you're listening to your iPod at kind of around 80 decibels for sort of 8 hours a day, you're likely to be causing some damage to your hearing at that point.
Brilliant. Well, thanks a lot, Andy, and for coming along, and thanks again for supporting Access to Music. And also, we've got the Play Safe campaign, which we're running at the moment, our national campaign raising awareness for student musicians. Do you know what I'd actually like to do? It's actually, I don't know if anybody's done this before, and whether or not we could do this, is to actually have a large event where we could actually have everybody get a world record for the most people wearing hearing protection at a gig. Has it been done before?
I don't know whether it's on before, but if it hasn't, I think we need to. Yeah. I think that sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, I think we'll do that. So watch this space. We're going to have the largest gig with most people wearing hearing protection ever with Access to Music. Thanks again to the RNID, and yeah, cool.